Hello everyone, today is Friday, October 26, 2018. I'm shooting this from inside of my shelter at the doorsteps of the UN Refugee Agency. As you know, I'm here for nearly 2 years requesting a resettlement referral from this organization and ending of my long imprisonment in Greece. I'm trapped in this extraordinary situation for over 4 years. As you know, I cannot get close to the UN Refugee Agency because of the 10-meter restraining order by the court, and every attempt at doing so results in violent and physical assaults by the guards of the building, the people inside the building, the employees of the organization, in different numbers of illegal detention at different police stations, and trials after trials in the court, and also practical imprisonment in different prison facilities. So as I cannot make through the situation here with the UN Refugee Agency, I'm trying to reach the authorities on the European level, Greek state, and also Canadian authorities, and requesting their help and assistance to find a solution. As part of this non-stop endeavors, I have addressed some of the Canadian senators, and particularly the Human Rights Committee in the Senate of Canada. Most recently, I addressed the Senate of Canada and this Human Rights Committee on October 17, 2018, and one of these senators, who is also happened to be a member of this Human Rights Committee, is Senator Kim Pate. You are looking at Senator Kim Pate's page on Senate of Canada. She is from Ontario, and she is an independent senator, and as you can see it here, she is also a member of Human Rights Committee, Senate of Canada, Human Rights Standing Committees, Human Rights, and here we have Senator Kim Pate. Here we have Senator Kim Pate as a member of this committee. Senator Kim Pate sent me a reply on Wednesday, October 24, brief reply, and I also replied to her a day after. I'm going to read you Senator's email, and also my reply to her, and also there are other documents that I'm going to show you. There are other clarifications which I'm going to share with you on this video. And again, I'm requesting Senator Kim Pate, and in particularly the Human Rights Committee in the Senate, to help resolve this problem, because I'm really perishing here. I'm almost dying. So let's start with Senator's reply. I have a printout of the Senator's reply here. It's not a good print. I'm going to show you the original one on my computer. So I'm just reading the Senator's reply for you. It's here. So Senator Kim Pate on Wednesday, October 23rd, 2018 sent me a reply and says, "Dear Mr. Nillufary, thank you for your email describing your circumstances. I'm very sorry to hear how difficult this situation is for you. Thank you, Senator. Please find a link to the Canadian Immigration and Citizenship Ministry." Here it's this link referring me to this page, resettlement from outside of Canada. In order to find this page, it's just simply search refugee resettlement from outside of Canada, and you will easily find this page from the Citizenship and Immigration website. Then she says the link has access to the forms required and describes the process for making an application to Canada for refugee status. And then she says, once you have submitted an application and have obtained a client identification number, an application number, we can monitor the status of your application and request assistance from the minister's office. Please keep us informed of your progress and all the best in the meantime. Sincerely, Kim Pate. Well, the problem is that I cannot submit an application. That's why I am asking help. That's where I need the Senate of Canada, the Parliament of Canada, the Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, and the Prime Minister to help. That's the problem. So here is my reply to Senator a day after that. This is, I'm going to read for you briefly. Dear Senator Kim Pate, thank you very much for your reply to my earlier appeal to your office. It is very much appreciated. As you are also listed as a member of the Human Rights Committee in the Senate, I also consider your reply to be a response on behalf of this committee as well. Regarding to your reply, I must however say that I did not find it any different from the responses I had been receiving from the Canadian Embassy in Italy and the Minister's Office as well over past 4 years. So they just send me a link to this page and also refer me to the UNHCR, or ask me to find a sponsorship agreement holder. And it's like they are not going reading my email. It's like what I am writing is just pointless. It's like they don't read it. So in my previous email to you, it is clearly described that due to a temporary restraining order imposed by the Greek court, I cannot reach the UN Refugee Agency, and it is almost impossible for me to obtain a sponsorship agreement holder in Canada. And therefore, for this very reason, which means failure in obtaining the prerequisites, I won't be able to submit a refugee resettlement application to any of the Canada's visa and immigration offices abroad. In fact, my resettlement application last year has been returned to me because it did not go along with the resettlement referral from the UN Refugee Agency. Here is my resettlement application, which last year I submitted to the Canadian Embassy in Rome. Later I'm going to show you all the documents, all the checklists, all the forms. Just to let you know, there is also a letter inside this packet which is quite interesting. I'm going to read that letter for you as well. I'm also going to share that letter on my Facebook page as well. So continuing my letter here. Moreover, on the Canada's Immigration and Citizen website, the first paragraph of the same page you sent to me, it clearly states, here it is, this first paragraph on this page. It clearly states, to come to Canada as a refugee, you must be referred. The United Nations Refugee Agency, UNHCR for short, a designated referral organization which is not clear who they are, or a private sponsorship group can refer you. You cannot apply directly to us as a refugee. Okay, this is in fact where I require your help and assistance. Due to the about 10-meter restraining order, practically I have been forbidden from entering the UNHCR building where it lies. The solution to this destructive problem, and therefore every attempt at doing so or even approaching their building will result in further punishments such as unnecessarily violent and physical assaults by the guard of the building, the people inside the building, the employees of the organization, and even the police. These are, of course, in addition to the indefinite numbers of illegal detention in different police stations, trials after trials in the court, and illegal detention in refugee camps or even in prisons. I have already suffered all these extra punishments for approaching the UNHCR building and trying to secure for my life. On the grounds of breaching about a restraining order and attempting to seek help for my life, I have had up to 14 trials in the court of evil prison. So far, 3 of these are still pending trials ahead. I had been sentenced to jail on all these trials, and I was also practically imprisoned on 3 occasions only for having attempted to reach the UN Refugee Agency. I'm extremely terrorized by the UN Refugee Agency, the people inside the building, the Hellenic police, and the Greek authorities as well, those whom only seems to be prolonging the situation in a clear hope that I would die and never going to make it. This is a crime not just against one individual, but also against our common sense of humanity. This is extremely gross. It is simply a targeted assassination and secretly disposing one. Aside from the inevitable extinction, if a solution is not found urgently, the only outcome of these utterly unethical and illegal circumstances is that I have been deliberately trapped in this endless circle of suffering for all past 4 years with no way out being offered to me. The UNHCR office in Greece has been calling the police on me since my illegal deportation from Sweden back to Greece in September 2015. I cannot bear any more of this extraordinary situation, which has already left catastrophic impacts on my life. I'm perishing bit by bit at the doorsteps of the UN Refugee Agency in Athens, and instead of having my rights respected and finding a solution to my rightful needs, I'm just dealing with the police and the court for trying to reach this inefficient and obsolete organization and getting the same evasive and big replies from the authorities here and there. That is why I desperately need Canada's help to resolve this problem, and that, of course, if Canada is willing to offer any. For the same reasons explained above, and most importantly for the sake of survival, what I am humbly asking is to be exempt from these extremely strict requirements, and therefore to be allowed to submit a refugee resettlement application without a referral from the UN Refugee Agency, and also without obtaining a private sponsor. Canada may also consider granting me entry to its territory so that I could seek Canada's protection there later upon arrival. Persisting on the above requirements would equally means more unsuccessful attempts reaching the UN Refugee Agency, bearing potentially even more physical assaults and all other kinds of ill treatments, more illegal and arbitrary detention in different police stations, more trials in the court, and more imprisonment. Is that what Canada wants? There must be another solution, and I truly believe that Canada does not necessarily need UNHCR's mediation or a resettlement referral from these inefficient and absolute organization in order to offer asylum to an individual genuine refugee in dire and urgent need of protection. And that is why I look forward to your compassionate response and your kind assistance immediately. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I will look forward to your reply. Yours respectfully, Anwar Nillufary. Thursday, October 25th, 2018. CC to Human Rights Committee in the Senate of Canada and Senate Committee's Directorate for the same matters above. Thank you very much. The Prime Minister of Canada and the Minister of Immigration, Refugees and the Citizenship for the same matters above. Thank you very much. So this is what the situation is. They are only referring me to this website, which is saying that I cannot apply directly. I need referral from the UN Refugee Agency here or other designated referral organization, which there is no mention what organization they are. Private sponsorship agreement, sponsorship group, which usually they only sponsor those who only have a family member or relative or something already in Canada, already settled in Canada. Then even if you have a refugee status from a country, still you cannot apply directly. Even if you have funds to support yourself, still you need a referral from UNHCR or referral organization or private sponsorship group. And here what we see with the UN Refugee Agency, I've been forbidden from entering the UNHCR and they are calling the police on me for over 3 years. For over 3 years, I'm sleeping beside the street for nearly 2 years before the eyes of the organization, and they are not even coming out to speak to me. They are not answering to my email. They are not picking up my phone calls. And as soon as I get close to the building, they just call the police. Here is a letter from the minister last year, which also he says the same things. He is referring me to the UN Refugee Agency there in this paragraph, third paragraph. And just let me read this paragraph. He says, unfortunately, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada is not in a position to assist with your request as Canadian official. Rely upon the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, private sponsors and referral organization to identify and refer refugees for resettlement. And when this organization is going to identify me for resettlement, my life is on hold for 6 years. I'm dying. I'm in a vulnerable position. I'm completely drained here. I'm eating 1 meal a day just to survive. I can't even get close to this organization. I'm terrorized by this organization. Why would any government need such an organization in order to offer an individual asylum within their territory? I don't understand. Then it says the government supported stream of their resettlement program are the only stream through which Canada selects refugees, relying on UNHCR to refer cases based on vulnerability. Here then he says Canada visa offices abroad will consider application from refugees and other persons in need of protection only if they have been either referred by the United Nations Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, or they have obtained a private sponsorship which has been approved by Canada's Immigration center in Canada. This is the situation, and this is a deadlock, and everybody referring me to this organization, and this organization is just calling the police on me. Here is a letter from Canada's embassy. They sent me this letter last year after they sent back my application. I'm going to read you the second paragraph. It's basically the same things, UNHCR, private sponsorship groups. So I'm going to read you the second paragraph. UNHCR selects to provide protection to refugees worldwide. As part of this activity, it identifies refugees for resettlement to Canada when it is the best possible solution. Okay, generally resettlement is promoted in a situation when no other solution is available or when effective protection is not available. I don't have effective protection and there is no other solution. In my case already fulfills 3 of the resettlement criteria, yet here is the situation. Please note, even if you are referred by UNHCR, the Canadian Visa Office decides whether or not a person meets the requirement of Canada's refugee resettlement program and if the person will be admitted to Canada or not. Here is the situation, and here is my application which I sent to Canadian Embassy. Canadian Embassy here, you see, last year. So I'm going to take out these pages. There are some forms here. Here is the letter they sent me. I'm going to read you these letters. So I'm going to put this aside for now. Here is a document checklist. Here is my document checklist. I sent this letter, this document, in fact, this application last year. Document checklist. Here, document checklist. Here, generic application form from Canada for Canada. Okay, this is the form. It's filled out. You see, it's filled out. Then we have Schedule A, background and declaration. Here is another form. Another form, put it here. Then Schedule 2, the refugee outside Canada. So I first submitted all these applications. Then we have this, put it here. Then my identification documents, everything is here. So I put this here too. I have this pages too as well. I put this here. And refugee status from Greece, I have this here. Okay, refugee status from Greece here. Refugee status, description here. And I sent them everything. So, and the reunion registration form in Iraq, Erbil, we have them here. And these are my correspondences from the year 2017. January. This was sent to the Canadian Embassy along with my application. This one and the other one. This letter was addressed to the High Commissioner of Canada in United Kingdom. Oh, it's like this. High Commissioner of Canada in United Kingdom. And this letter, which is addressed to the United Nations Refugee Agency in Greece, Tuesday, December 22nd, 2016. I sent these letters to them along with my application. So, but they sent it back with a letter. Here is the letter. Again, before I read this letter, I'm going to go through document checklist. Here it's a document checklist. I have sent this documents. The first one, generic application form to Canada. Then I have the other one. Here it is, this table. The other one, Schedule A, background declaration. The other one, refugee outside Canada. And here I have photos. I sent 2 photos. And on this page we have also a few documents here. Background documents if applicable, which I sent them, travel documents and passports, which I had a travel document, refugee status from Greece, which I sent them. Then proof of refugee status is the same as number 11. Additional information if applicable, which I also sent them as well. Now we are going to read the Canada's embassy's letter. Here it is. Embassy's letter last year. Dear Sir, Madam, thank you for your interest in Canada. It says, however, we wish to inform you that our office no longer accepts applications mailed directly to us. To find out how to apply online or at your nearest visa application center, VAC, please visit our website italy.ca or the Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, www.cic.gc.ca. Sincerely, and the other part is in France. This was sent to me. There it says April 27, 2017. So practically I cannot submit the application directly. And here, more interestingly, here it says application forms. Here are the same, you will find the same forms in this page. In applying as a conventional refugee or as a humanitarian protected person abroad, here it says how to use these application packets, then fill out, validate, print, sign, and date. Then here it says privately sponsorship refugees. Okay, generally your sponsor will submit your application on your behalf to the Resettlement Operations Center in Ottawa or IRCC. Okay, this is for the people who are inside the, those who has obtained a sponsorship in Canada. So I can't. Here the other one, government assisted refugees. After your case is referred by a UN refugee agency or another referral organization, the IRC office abroad will tell you how to submit your completed forms directly to their office. So basically all these things that I did was pointless. There was no point in doing this because they won't accept it even if it's complete. It can be complete without a referral. So even if you complete all of the forms, but if you don't have a referral from the UN Refugee Agency, they won't accept it. Now even if I just again fill out the application like this and send it to the embassy, they won't accept it. They say it has to be referred by the UNHCR. And I'm here in front of the UN Refugee Agency for nearly 2 years, sleeping beside the street for nearly 2 years. I had 14 trials in the court. I can't get close to the building. I can't speak to the employees of the organization. Here is inside my shelter. Look at this. Inside my shelter, in front of the UN Refugee Agency, office of the UN Refugee Agency. It's there. This is my placard. This is the situation. My life is on hold for over 4 years. Sweden made 2 decisions on my case within 3 months and sent me back to this country illegally. I was misled initially in this country in 2014. UNHCR for 1.5 years was even denying that they have anything to do with refugee resettlement. for nearly 2 years immediately after my illegal deportation. Why this is happening? They had been lying to me again and again and again and again until I announced the hunger strike in front of their office on March 21st, 2017, and I'm here ever since. They destroyed my shelter 3 times. I've been in detention, held in detention illegally for over 100 times. I had 14 trials in the court. I had been held in amygdalas, in prison, in detention. I mean, what is this? And it seems that the only way for a refugee, a displaced person, a stateless person, I'm also a stateless person in exile for over 13 years. The only way for me to find asylum is to pay people smugglers and reach the country with asylum illegally. What is this? Why this has to happen to me when I am just asking authorities? I'm following the instructions. When I'm following the instructions, this has happened to you. They call the police, you have to go to the court, you have to go to prison, you have to go to the camp, you have to sleep beside the street for 1 year, 2 years, you have to eat 1 meal a day, you have to face everything. Why? Why this has to be like this? Why this has to be like this? I'm a recognized refugee, beneficiary of international protection. This shouldn't be like this ever. This has to stop immediately. And I don't understand why any country would necessarily needs a resettlement referral just to offer asylum to an individual Geneva refugee in dire and urgent need of protection. UNHCR is not doing its job. They are not speaking to me. They don't answer my calls. They don't answer my emails. I can't get close to their building. What else am I supposed to do? My life is on hold in this continent for 4 years. In fact, for 6 years. Even before arriving to this continent, I was asking the UNHCR to help me. I showed you the registration applications. You know, the UNHCR, it's here in Iraq. What is this? So, dear Senator, Kim Pate, once again, I really appreciate your letter, but this is what I explained to you. So please help. Please help. What I am humbly asking is to be exempt from these extremely strict requirements, and therefore to be allowed to submit a refugee resettlement application without a referral from the UN Refugee Agency and also without obtaining a private sponsor. Canada may also consider granting me entry to its territory so that I could seek Canada's protection later upon arrival. So please help. I cannot stay like this in this situation. My life is on hold for over 4 years. My life has been a waste. This organization is only making refugees to feel unwanted, disposable. They are not helping. So please help. I need to make use of my life. I need to make use of my life. I need time to integrate. I need time to find my way into the new society. I need to study. I need to find a work. I need to build a network of the people in a new country. All of this needs time, needs energy. I'm extremely tired here. I'm completely drained physically, emotionally, economically, in every other way. Look at me. Now I just eat 1 meal a day just to survive. For how long can I do this? I can't. I have no support here. They even destroyed my shelter. They destroyed it 3 times. They stole my property, my clothes. My jacket, blankets, heating. I had gas, for heating last winter. Now I don't know if I'm going to get another one. I would be able to get another one for this winter or not, or whether they are going to put me in jail again for trying to reach the UNHCR again or not. So please help, please help. This is a horrible situation. This is a crime which is going on here for 4 years. 4 years. This is not a joke. Asylum procedure is not like this. Asylum procedure should never take up to 4 or 6 years. This has to end now. You are not sending a spacecraft to Mars. I'm asking for a safe passage to Canada. What is so difficult about it to offer it? I pay for my tickets. Please help. I cannot deal with UNHCR anymore to be beaten by the people from this organization, their security guards or the other people in the building, or even employees of the organization. Cannot just go to the police station to be held there illegally. This has affected me in every way. I can't just go to the court. They are not listening to me at all. They don't care what's happening here. So please help. You have the power, you have the authority to end this problem. I'm seeking asylum in Canada. I'm not seeking asylum in UNHCR. UNHCR is not a country. UNHCR is not doing its mediation role here. They have a problem with me. I don't know why. This is what they are doing. They ignored me even when I was in Sweden at the risk of deportation. They didn't respond to my appeals. In Iraq, they ignored me. In Greece, they misled me. And here, they are just calling the police on me for over 4 years. So please, help. I hope that this will clarify. Thank you very much. And I hope that I won't have to explain this anymore. So please help. Please help. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye.